Hello students, in this session we will calculate the example based on the transient stability analysis using equal area criteria. So let us understand the statement of example. So it is given that a 60 Hz synchronous generator having inertia constant H is equal to 5 megajoule per MVA and XD dash which is equal to 0.3 per unit, which is connected to the infinite bus through purely reactive circuit as shown in this figure number 1. Clear? Then the generator is delivering active power which is 0.8 per unit and the reactive power which is 0.74 per unit to the infinite bus at a voltage of 1 per unit. Clear? So it is asked us to calculate the critical clearing angle and critical fault clearing time when the fault occur at, or it is considered over here when a three-phase fault occur at the point F as shown in diagram. So here we can consider the case of fault at one end of the transmission line. If you wish, you can write consider the case which is B, fault at or short circuit at one end of transmission line. Clear? So for this case we have to calculate the critical clearing angle and critical clearing time. Clear? So let us first calculate the normal operating condition, means power transferred by the machine to the infinite bus during normal operating condition, yes, which is the equation for normal operating condition, which is PE1 equal to E dash, yes, it is E dash V by x1 equivalent. I will consider over here x1 equivalent with respect to the P1 sin delta 0 during normal operating condition or initial operating condition. So you have to substitute the value of E dash which is not given to us. So we need to calculate the E dash, that means generator terminal voltage, or not generator terminal voltage, the EMF generated by the machine, which is equal to, just recall the previous theory or example of steady state stability analysis where we can calculate the E dash using the equation of V plus J, say x1 equivalent into I, J into xi. Clear? V plus J into xi. So in this equation we need to calculate the x1 equivalent and I, value of I. So let us first calculate the x1 equivalent from this figure number 1. So yes, transfer reactance between internal voltage of synchronous machine and infinite bus. So which is, let's say, x1 equivalent which is equal to, yes, 0.3 of xd dash plus 0.2 of xt plus the parallel combination of this transmission line which is 0.3 by 2. So the final answer for x1 equivalent which is equal to 0.65 per unit. Clear? As all this value in diagram is given in per unit or common base. So yes, we have calculated the x1 equivalent. Now our next objective, we have to calculate the flow of current from the machine to the infinite bus. So yes, just recall the previous example which we have calculated. S is equal to V into I star. So from that, just use or make the subject I is equal to S star by V. Clear? V star. So here it is given that the active power and reactive power. That means if you wish you can write S is equal to P plus J Q, which is equal to 0.8, which is active power delivered by the machine, plus J 0.074. Clear? Which is the reactive power delivered by the machine to an infinite bus. Yes, so just substitute the value of S in this equation of I. We will get yes 0.8 plus, not plus here, as it is conjugate, so we need to consider the minus sign. So 0.8 minus J 0.074 divided by 1 plus J0, or you can consider minus J0. Clear? So the final answer for the current which is flow from the machine to an infinite bus, which is equal to 0.8 minus J 0.074 per unit. Clear? Now just substitute the value of I in this equation, you will get the value of voltage. So yes, which is equal to, yes, it is E dash V is equal to 1 plus J0 or 1 plus J into X1 equivalent, which is, or you can directly consider J 0.65 into I is equal to 0.8 minus J 0.074. Clear? So the final answer for the voltage E dash is equal to 1.17. Just verify it by yourself with an angle of 26.387 degree per unit. Clear? So just substitute the value in this first equation, we will get the power transfer by the machine during initial operating condition. So which is equal to 1.17 with voltage magnitude divided by X1 equivalent into sine delta 0. So we will get PE1 is equal to, right over here, yes, PE1 which is equal to 1.8 sine delta 0. Clear? Now we can substitute the value of delta from here also, yes, as it is given as E dash angle delta. Clear? But if you wish you can verify and cross check by calculating the angle delta 0. So let us calculate the angle delta 0. As the P1 normal operating condition power delivered by the machine, which is given as 0.8, Pmax is equal to 1.8 sine delta 0. So from this sine delta 0 or delta 0, you can calculate the delta 0, which is equal to 26.388, which is same as the voltage value. Clear? Or if you wish you can write in radian, which is 0.46055 radian. I hope you are clear and understood up to this. Let me explain you again. Yes, it is asked us to calculate the clearing angle and clearing time with when the case of fault at the end of the transmission line. Here, for the case of fault at one end of the transmission line, that means over here. So for this case, just we have first initially we just calculate the normal operating condition and power delivered by the machine at an angle of 26 degree. Clear? So just draw the P delta curve for the understanding. So draw the P delta curve that will help us to understand the example and calculating the delta CR. So the P delta curve for this case, let's just recall the theory. Yes, here the angle is delta 0, which is equal to 26 degree, and the electrical power output, which is 0.8, or if you wish you can write PM. At a PM mechanical input power you will get, and 0.8 electrical power output. Clear? So now let us consider a fault at the end of the transmission line. So the power transfer will drastically become a 0. Yes, just recall the theory of the case when the fault is at the end of the transmission line. So the power transfer will become a 0. Clear? And after this much of time, say at an angle of delta CR, the fault will clear and try to restore the fault and try to clear the. So let us say somewhere over here, so you can visualize the equal area criteria. Here at A point, normal operating condition, at B to C the fault will clear, and that we have to calculate at after what time and what angle the fault is clear. And D to E, and the final one is F. So this both the area for stable operating condition is area A1, that means from delta 0 to delta CR and delta CR to delta max, that is area A2 must be same. Clear? So we have calculated over here, and the objective is ask us to calculate the delta CR and time for the fault clearing. Clear? So yes, from this just apply the equal area criteria on this figure number 2 or we can say from this figure number 2 P delta curve. For the stable operating condition, A1 must be equal to A2. So just write down the equation of A1, which is equal to integration of delta 0 to delta CR, integration of delta 0 to delta CR, where the acceleration will take place where PM minus PE. But during this interval, the PE is equal to 0 as the fault is occur at the end of the transmission line. Yes. So the PE will become 0, will substitute. Okay. So and for the area A2, which is delta CR to delta max. Clear? So the delta max and the condition is, and the deceleration, which is PM minus PE. So what is the value of PM minus PE? Sorry, PE minus PM. PE minus PM, as it is deceleration from F to E. So it is Pmax sine delta, or if you wish you can write Pmax 2 as P2 over here, not Pmax 2, it is Pmax 3, or Pmax sine delta minus PM, or PE is equal to, just write over here, do not get confused, just write over here Pmax sine delta minus PM to T delta. Clear? Now just solve this equation and make the subject of delta CR from this solution. So let us calculate. As the PE will become 0, PE will become, or PE2 will become 0 in this portion, or area A2, area A1. So we'll substitute only for the PM. So I can write directly, just integrate both the side of the equation. We will get PM into delta C minus delta 0, which is equal to Pmax into bracket, yes, cos delta C minus cos delta max. Yes, we substitute the limit and integration, minus Pm cos, not cos, it is delta max minus delta. Clear? So solving this equation, we will get the final answer for cos delta C, which is equal to Pm by Pmax into delta max minus delta, yes, delta max minus delta 0, plus cos delta max. Clear? So using this equation, we have to calculate the delta C or delta CR. Yes, you can consider delta CR, no, not delta C. Yes, delta CR over here. So final delta CR. So you can calculate the delta CR, which is clearing angle. So just substitute, but before that you need to calculate the delta max. So from this, yes, from this figure number 2, just understand the value of delta max. So you can write delta max, which is equal to pi minus, yes, pi minus delta 0. Value of delta max is equal to pi minus delta 0. That will give you to delta max. So yes, pi, which is equal to 180 degree, minus delta 0, which is at 26.388 degree. So the final answer for the delta max, which is equal to 153.612, or which is equal to 2.681 radian. Clear? You can use any of this value. So let us calculate delta CR. Just substitute the value of PM, Pmax, and delta max and delta 0. Clear? So we will get delta CR, which is equal to, or cos delta CR, which is equal to PM. Yes, PM is equal to power at normal operating condition, electrical power at normal operating condition, which is 0.8. Yes, just substitute it over here, 0.8 divided by Pmax. So you have calculated the maximum power transfer, which is P equal to Pmax sine delta, or yes, over here, the maximum value of which is equal to 1.8. Clear? So yes, 0.8 divided by 1.8. Now delta max minus delta 0, so it is 2.681 minus delta 0, which is equal to 0.46055, plus cos of delta max, which is 153.612 degree. Clear? So you can calculate from this delta CR, which is equal to cos inverse, yes, the value of this will 0.0910 So you will get cos inverse 0.09106. So the final answer for the delta C, which is equal to 775 degree, which is equal to 1.48 radian. Now let us understand this value on the diagram. So here the value of delta max, which is equal to 153, and the value of delta CR, which is equal to 84. So at an angle of 84 degree, at an angle of 84 or nearly 84 degree, the fault must be clear for the stable operating condition. For the stable operating condition, at or before 84 degree, the fault must be clear for the stable operating condition. Now let us calculate the time which is required to clear the fault. Yes, we know very well the TC, or you can say TCR, critical clearing time, which is equal to 2H into bracket delta C or delta CR minus delta 0 divided by, let's don't get confused, just write the CR, pi F0 and PM here. So which is equal to, yes, substitute the value of 2H is equal to 5, delta CR which you have calculated, which is equal to, yes, 1.48 radian minus delta 0, which is equal to 0.46055, and divided by pi, which is 180, frequency it is given as a 60 Hz, and PM, which is equal to 0.8. So the final answer for the time, which is equal to 0.26 second. So after being subjected to a fault at the end of this transmission line, or one of the transmission line, or we can say at transmission line 2 near to the generator, after the 0.26 second, fault must be clear for the stable operation of the system. Clear? Or also you can say that at an angle or before the 48 degree, before the rotor reach to the 84 degree, the fault must be clear. Clear? Or before 26 second, the fault must be clear. That means this both the circuit breaker gets open and remove this faulty line from this system. Now I will give you the homework for this example. Calculate the post-fault power transfer. Calculate the post-fault power transfer for this example or for this system. So you need to calculate the PE3. Homework for you, calculate the PE3, value of PE3. Clear? I hope you have understood this example. Let me remind you again or explain you again that we have started from this normal power transfer by the system, and then after, yes, for the calculation of this normal power transfer we need to calculate the E dash, and for this E dash we need to calculate X equivalent and I. So for that, yes, we just calculated the X equivalent from this network using network reduction technique. That means series parallel combination of reactance. Then from this equation we have calculated the power current flow from this machine to an infinite bus. Clear? And then finally we have calculated the power transfer, and from that we calculate the delta 0, that means initial operating condition. Here the delta 0 is 26. Now after being subjected to a transient fault, the delta will reach to the maximum value, which is equal to 153. Now just imagine the difference between these two angles, that means delta 0 to delta max. Clear? So if you understand this by the plot of delta versus t curve, let me use the different color so that will clear you. Yes, delta versus t curve. Here the normal operating condition at an angle of 26 or nearly equal to 26 degree, delta versus t curve. And now after being subjected to the fault, it will reach to the maximum at 153 degree, and then it will come back to the near to the some value again. It will reach some maximum value, and then after it will settle down at delta CR, or which is equal to 84 degree. Clear? Nearly equal to 84 degree. And yes, why? Just because the fault is clear at a time of 26 seconds. So if the fault is clear within this time limit and within this angle delta CR, then and then your system will be in stable operating condition. Otherwise, there is a chances of loss of synchronism or unstable operation for this example. Clear? And yes, just keep in mind you have to calculate the post fault power transfer by this machine, and I hope you know very well the equation for that and the procedure for that. Clear? In next session we will calculate the example where the fault is occur at the middle of the transmission line. I hope you are clear up to this. Here just we have just apply the theory from this equation. Yes, over here. Yes, from this equation we have just draw the P delta curve from normal operating condition, and yes, we know very well if the fault is occur at the end of the transmission line, then this power transfer will become 0. Yes, if you wish you can write PE2 will become 0. That is what we have considered over here, PE2. Clear? And again we reach to the Pmax somewhere over here. So consider the Pmax sine delta minus Pm and substitute it into this final equation. So you will get the delta CR, which shows the critical value of clearing angle. Beyond that you cannot operate your machine. Clear? I hope you are clear up to this. If you have any doubt, you can mail me or can directly contact me. Okay.